What is our fourth main topic today?
Our final topic comes from Venar M. I'm hoping that you saw that Elizabeth Olsen is now saying that with Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine, that a Scarlet Witch and X-Men team is possible and that Michael Fassbender is her father in one of the universes. What do you guys think of Olsen's comments? And do you think we could now see the Scarlet Witch presented as a mutant in the MCU? Would love to know your thoughts. Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot for sharing that, Venar. And listen, I've had my complaints about Marvel, the MCU Phase 4. Certainly some fantastic stuff in it. Some absolutely fantastic. Shang-Chi, WandaVision, Ms. Marvel. I really like Eternals. Spider-Man No Way Home. Some of it's been pretty mid. Some of it not so good. So it's been kind of mixed. That said, I actually think, even though Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness is not one of the more beloved MCU movies, I do actually think that the story path of Scarlet Witch has been one of the most fascinating things they've not just done in the Phase 4, but one of the most fascinating things I think they've done in the MCU. The whole, her origin story, where she came from, where we found her in WandaVision, how things ended in WandaVision, and then seeing the progression of that into Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. I really do honestly think, even though I think Multiverse of Madness is a lower tier MCU film, I think her story is one of the most forward-thinking, best things Marvel's done. I really think it's an incredible story. And what do you do with her moving forward? Well, Kevin Feige's already said, we're not done. We haven't seen the last of Scarlet Witch because, of course, this is the Marvel fake death universe. So, of course, she's going to be back. Well, she was actually on a red carpet when she got told by a reporter on the red carpet about the announcement of Hugh Jackman coming into the MCU again as Wolverine for Deadpool 3. And this is the response she had. This comes from the folks over at Variety who wrote the following. "Oh, really?" Olsen asked when she heard the news. "Wow. Now that Jackman is returning as Wolverine, Olsen wants Scarlet Witch to team up with more X-Men characters on the big screen. I guess Wolverine is X-Men," Olsen said when asked about which character she hopes to team up with in the future of the MCU. "It would be cool to work with a lot of those people from the X-Men franchise. I guess Michael Fassbender is my dad in some world. Olsen last played Scarlet Witch in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. The character took a villainous turn in the film, and her fate was left ambiguous by the end after she sacrificed herself to destroy the Darkhold in a moment of redemption. Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige all but confirmed to Variety that the character will be back. There really is so much more to explore," Feige said. "We still haven't touched on many of her core storylines from the comics." And that comes to us again from Kevin Feige and the folks over at Variety. So look, I am fascinated with this character. Mm-hmm. I don't think there can be a full redemption story for her. I mean, she straight up murdered a lot of people and nearly killed a lot of the heroes and nearly destroyed all of reality with everything that she was doing. I mean, she broke bad. She broke bad, but that doesn't mean she's a monster. And yet she was pretty monstrous in this thing. So be interesting to see where they go. I love the fact that she brings up Michael Fassbender, that she brings up, hey, Fassbender's my dad in some universe. That's out there. Now, look, I've been on record, and I still believe, I don't think for a second that Kevin Feige intends to use any of the old Fox X-Men cast as their new iterations of X-Men characters moving forward. Hugh Jackman in Wolverine in Deadpool 3, that's an outlier. I mean, that's because it's Deadpool, so you can do that sort of thing. But I don't really think he has any plans for that. But even I, who've said for a long time I don't believe that Kevin Feige intends to use any original cast members, nor should he, even I would have to admit, if they were to come out and announce that Michael Fassbender was going to return as Magneto, and he was going to play, Wanda's actual father. The one in her memories wasn't actually her dad. That was either an adopted dad or something along those lines, whatever. And to see, can we bring up Ray's thumbnail? The main show thumbnail, if we got that around somewhere. But to see can you imagine the Avengers, whoever the Avengers are at the time, held up at the new Avengers HQ, and marching down the road comes these two. That's shit your pants time. You see Magneto and Scarlet Witch marching down the road. That would be all kinds of awesome. I would love to see these two. And quite frankly, I don't think Michael Fassbender's done anything really good since he played Magneto, which is really weird because listen, he's one of the best actors out there, but man, he he picked crappy movie after crappy movie after crappy movie. Remember The Snowman?
What was the last thing? The other big thing? Assassin's Creed. Didn't he do that?
Yeah.
Well, he did Assassin's Creed, which was just terrible. He did The Snowman, which was just awful. He did The Light Between Oceans, which I thought was a snore fest. And he is a world-class actor. So I would love to see him get back into things. Man, I'd love to see him get back into that suit. Maybe get our friend Ashley back to maybe write some more write some more stuff for him. But listen, her bringing up that whole idea about that, and with Kevin Feige's comments, I think it sounds pretty clear that even Elizabeth Olsen knows her time as Scarlet Witch is not done. She's coming back as Scarlet Witch. And Rob, the question becomes, they have never alluded to her being a mutant. It's always been something different, because when they started her off in the universe, it had to be something different.
Right. Yeah.
Are they going to leave her that way, or do you think they are going to bring in her mutantness into all this? And could we see her aligned with some X-Men characters moving forward?
Well, first of all, I think Elizabeth Olsen's great. And she made one of those, I don't know if it was for Vanity Fair, but I remember she did a thing where she took you on a journey through Scarlet Witch in the comics.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and she seemed like she actually had read them. Like she didn't just read off a cue card or something. And I was impressed by that. I was impressed by her enthusiasm for the character. So clearly she digs this role. Mm-hmm. And look, as we were saying, if she said, no more mutants or whatever, doing the House of M storyline, I would love to see her come back, because I adore her as a performer. I mean, she's great in things like Wind River too, but I thought she was great. So she's definitely going to come back. And I think they will admit that she's a mutant. They're going to have to at some point, because
do they have to?
I think they do, because Miracle, she'll find out, no, you didn't get your powers through the Tesseract. You were latently a mutant. Your latent powers were part of who you are. But nobody knew that yet, because they don't know about the existence of mutants. But I think she's definitely going to be back. I think she's going to be outed as a mutant, and I think she's going to wreck some more shop.
Amy, you're seeing all this. Obviously, she's now talking like she knows she's going to be back. So that's almost a foregone conclusion at this time. She's talking about wanting to be aligned with X-Men characters, even bringing up the idea of Fassbender being her dad in some universe in this vast multiverse. I don't know. How do you see them moving forward with this?
This seems like a lot of her going, oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. So I do feel like there's an element of take what she's saying with a grain of salt. Yeah. This isn't her announcing anything. This doesn't even sound like it's coming from a place of like, oh, I can't say too much. But that said, I think it makes a lot of sense. I agree that it feels really, really plausible that they are going to kind of swing back around on that and make her a mutant now that they have that opening up as an option in the MCU. And I really do hope they team her up with the X-Men. I'd love to see more of this character. I know there are options of, oh, it's a different universe as Wanda or whatever, but part of what I like so much about Wanda as a character is, yes, she's a villain, but she's a villain that comes from a really emotionally grounded place. Her whole story being one of, she did monstrous things because of her grief, because of her loss. That's a character I want to see more of. That's a character I want to see, can she be this anti-hero? Can she have this redemption arc? What does that look like moving forward? So there's so much interesting, so many interesting possibilities there. And I think possibilities that could tag team up really nicely if they sort of looped her in with the X-Men world to give her sort of a bit of a home as a character.
Right. It would be interesting too, because in Multiverse of Madness, they almost painted themselves into a corner a little bit with Wanda, because they did OP her a little bit. Like, she is really powerful. Like, she was taking on all the sorcerers, right? And she was more than a match for Doctor Strange. And like, we saw her with the Lashana Lynch Captain Marvel that she could, but I mean, Lashana Lynch's Captain Marvel gave her a run. I have a feeling maybe the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel may be a match for her. Maybe the souped up Thor might be a kind of a match for her. Maybe if they ever returned Hulk to his true Hulkness, maybe, but it's almost like the problem you get with Superman, right? Like, what's a real threat to Superman? That's always been kind of a big problem with trying to tell good, compelling Superman stories. And it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with her once they do bring her back. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about Elizabeth Olsen's comments here, talking about wanting her character to line up with other X-Men, maybe even something like a Michael Fassbender in the future? I don't know. Whatever. There's a lot of possibilities here. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave us your thoughts.
Hey guys, we want to thank the sponsor of today's episode, Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month. And now for the plot twist. I'm just kidding, there isn't one. Seriously, Mint Mobile just has premium wireless service from $15 a month. There's no trapping you into a 2-year contract or opening the bill to find these crazy fees. There's no luring you in with free subscriptions to streaming services that you'll forget to cancel and be charged full price for. I used to dread opening my phone bill every month because every time I was opening it, it was like playing roulette. I never knew what the actual price was going to be, and it always seemed to get higher. But not with Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile gives you the best rate whether you're buying for one or a family, and at Mint, families start at 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And if you're worried about the complication of switching things over, don't. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your phone number along with all your existing contacts. So guys, get premium wireless from just $15 a month and no unexpected plot twists at mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Seriously, you'll make your wallet very happy at mintmobile.com/Campea.